It's a video that supporters of Ahed Tamimi say exposes the abusive tactics used against the Palestinian teenager in an attempt to coerce her into a confession. Members of Tamimi's family say the video highlights verbal harassment and intimidation by two male Israeli interrogators. They say one portion, showing the two men referring to Tamimi's hair color and eyes, is particularly troubling and inappropriate. The Free the Tamimis campaign released the footage to the media at a news conference on Monday in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Her father says Israel decided to make an example of his 17-year-old daughter in order to discourage Palestinian children from resisting the occupation.
They wanted to break Ahed, to break her as the symbol she represents in front of her generation.
Tamimi was arrested in December after this video of her slapping and hitting two Israeli soldiers outside of her house in the village of Nabi Saleh went viral. Her younger cousin had been shot in the head by the Israelis with a rubber-coated steel bullet during protests against settlement expansion in the area. Her case drew international criticism, and Tamimi became a hero to many Palestinians. Israeli officials have defended Tamimi's arrest, saying they're protecting their soldiers and stopping what they call the incitement of violence. Last month, Tamimi agreed to a plea deal with Israeli prosecutors to avoid more serious charges that could have led to her being imprisoned for years. Human rights defenders say what happened to Tamimi is not an isolated incident.
It represents, I think, the Israeli widespread practice, and also it represents the Israeli official policy to target children. And they target children by different means, for instance, by torturing them, by arresting them, by detaining them.
Many are outraged by the video, especially by the presence of one of the two interrogators.
I've seen, I don't know, hundreds of interrogation sessions. I have never seen a military intelligence officer present in one of these interrogations. Simply never seen it in hundreds of interrogations that I've seen. He's not Shin Bet, he's not police, he's military intelligence. Why was military intelligence present there?
The Israeli army says it's passed a complaint filed by Tamimi's lawyer of improper conduct by the investigator to the Justice Ministry, and it's being examined. Palestinian activists say that, perhaps most of all, Ahed Tamimi's case has highlighted the plight of Palestinian children. Aid organizations say there are around 300 Palestinian minors currently being held in Israeli jail and whose cases, like Ahed Tamimi, are being heard or will be heard before a military court. And according to activists, those minors will ultimately also have to enter into plea bargains or risk facing long-term detentions. Mohammed, Jamjoom, Al Jazeera, Ramallah in the occupied West Bank.